This place is known as one of the biggest electronics markets in the world. And today, I wanted to buy a small camera stand that I could carry around easily. But after walking around for hours, I still didn't buy anything. This is Huaqiangbei in Shenzhen, China. Dozens of electronics malls are packed into this area. From smartphones and drones to all kinds of gadgets I've never even heard of, you can probably find almost anything here. The reason I came here is simple. It's not far from where I live, there are tons of products, and new things appear here very quickly. And of course, the biggest attraction is the price. Many products sold online actually come from places like this. This is my first time here, so honestly, I had no idea where to start. I just followed the crowd and walked into a random building. The first floor looked pretty normal. There were phone repair shops and all kinds of accessories. Even though it was a weekday, there were still a lot of people. And I noticed something interesting. There were a lot of foreign customers here. I've lived in Shenzhen for a while, but I don't think I've ever seen this many foreigners in one place. Shenzhen summers are really hot, so many stores sell these small portable fans, and people actually buy them. Here, you can find smartwatches for around $20 or $30. You can even find drones for just a few dozen dollars. Of course, don't expect them to be DJI. I still hadn't found the camera stand I wanted, so I decided to go upstairs. And then, I entered the phone case maze. I feel like we Chinese people really love phone cases. After spending so much money on a phone, the first thing many people do is put on a screen protector and a case. It's actually pretty funny. Phone companies spend years making phones thinner and thinner, and then we put a huge case on them and make them thick again. I used to use my phone without a case. I loved the feeling of holding a thin phone in my hand, but now I use one too, because my phone case has a built-in stand, so I can put it on the desk and watch videos. And honestly, my phone falls out of my pocket all the time. Every time it happens, it feels like my phone just survived a disaster. This is the first time I have seen so many phone case stores in one place. It feels like doing business in China is really difficult. Imagine hundreds of stores selling almost the same thing. How do you compete? Lower prices? Better quality? More features? And after all that, you still have to figure out how to get customers to choose you. Wait, why am I still looking at phone cases? I came here for a camera stand. But somehow, I got trapped in a phone case maze. I've walked around for so long that I actually started thinking about buying one. But no, I can control myself. Let's keep going. Maybe upstairs will finally be different. Wait, still phone cases? Okay, I admit it, I lost. I feel like this entire building is just phone cases. I'm leaving. Let's try the building across the street. It looks a little more expensive. One thing I noticed about Huaqiangbei is that there are a lot of foreign customers here. Actually, many of them seem better at shopping here than me. Some people negotiate prices using hand gestures. Some ask for the price, walk away, and wait for the seller to call them back. Some people don't even speak the same language, so they just use a calculator. But they all seem to know exactly what they are doing. They know what they want. And finally, I found the camera stand I was looking for. But then I had another problem. There were too many choices, and no price tags. If you want to know the price, you have to ask. If you want a better deal, you have to negotiate. For someone like me, this is actually not easy. I stood there for a long time without asking the price, because I didn't know what a reasonable price was. Normally, when I buy something, I go to brand stores. The price is already there. Nobody expects you to negotiate, and I only need to choose between a few brands I already know. But here, everything is different. The price depends on how good you are at negotiating. The brands might be ones you have never heard of, and having more choices doesn't always make things easier. Sometimes it just makes choosing harder. I used to think expensive products were always better, but now I think sometimes what we are paying for is not just the product. It's convenience. We pay because we don't want to ask questions. We don't want to negotiate. And we don't want to spend hours choosing between hundreds of options. Because sometimes, fewer choices actually make life easier. I walked around for hours and still bought nothing. Maybe this place is heaven for people who love negotiating, but for people like me, it can feel like a nightmare. If you came here to shop, do you think you could find what you wanted?